Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I want to take a quick look at a very unique game coming up this fall that looks to have a really cool combat system and a very interesting world to explore. Now the game is Soulstice. The release date is the fall of this year. It'll be releasing for the Xbox X and S, PS5, and the PC. The genre is an action RPG, the developer is Reply Game Studios, and publisher is Modus Games. So it looks like the setting of the game takes us to the world of Soulstice, which has been compromised by powerful enemies known as wraiths. Now the wraiths threaten to consume the living and even corrupt their victims and possess their bodies, turning them into unstoppable monsters that prey on the folk of Soulstice. Now we are charged with defeating the enemies by the use of chimeras, which are hybrid warriors born of the union of two souls. Now as the main protagonist, we are charged with playing as Briar and Lute, who are sisters that have been reborn into a chimera. Briar is the warrior part of the chimera with superhuman strength and resilience. Lute was sacrificed during the binding of their souls and now has become a ghost with mystical powers. So the sisters must explore this dark and cruel world hidden with mysteries and master a complex combat system. Now the action is fast-paced, the enemies are vicious, and the boss battles are breathtaking. Now the combat system is really unique and stood out to me. We must manage both characters simultaneously. Now Briar, as we mentioned, masters melee attacks and combos and has the ability to use several different types of weaponry that can be upgraded throughout the game. Now Briar can also switch between these weapons in the middle of a battle to unleash powerful combos and deal greater damage to the enemies. Lute, however, controls the battlefield with her otherworldly abilities to assist Briar. Lute has auras to weaken and expose your opponents and help control the flow of battle. Now the world may be dark and cruel, but it is also very beautiful in its own way. The sleek art style of the game is inspired by classic Japanese fantasy. Now we must discover different puzzles and secrets within the world that becomes more menacing and twisted as we move through the game. Briar and Lute must face wraiths, corrupted, and the possessed that have trespassed into the world. Now the sisters will try to discover the truth about themselves and their power, but must work together to stay true to their unbreakable bond. So my take on the game is the combat system looks truly awesome, the world looks very interesting, and the enemies and boss battles look challenging, and the story as well looks very promising. Now many people are comparing this game to something like Devil May Cry, which is a phenomenal game series in my opinion. Now I think this one is one to look at, guys, coming out this fall, so be sure to check out Soulstice and enjoy the rest of the gameplay video right here.
Throughout the game, Briar will learn to wield several deadly weapons. However, it is up to you to master them, switching between weapons on the fly to unleash spectacularly devastating combos.
Over there.
Briar's sister Lute, on the other hand, is a shade. Lute wields mystical powers that damage enemies at range, and she helps control the battlefield. Some of Lute's actions are contextual or automatically activated, such as proximity-based ranged attacks. Lute's other abilities, such as shields and counters, require direct input and quick thinking.
I will protect you, sister. Cover me, Lute.
The world of Soulstice is plagued by vile and extremely hostile creatures, which can only be eliminated by a chimera. When the sacred city of Ilden is overrun by these monsters, the two sisters are sent on a mission to investigate and purge the corruption.
As if we needed any further proof of how awful things are up here.
Wraiths are invisible, ethereal beings who can only be engaged with after Loot has cast a blue evocation field.
Cover me, Loot.
A wraith has possessed it. I can weaken their bond, but not for long. Be ready, sister.
Possessed, on the other hand, are invulnerable. However, you can cast Loot's Red Banishment Field to lower the seemingly impenetrable defenses.
I will devour it.
Be warned. When a possessed is defeated, it may release the Wraith controlling it. If the Wraith isn't destroyed in time, it will repossess its host, attacking with newfound strength. Okay, now it's really over. Who's next? Fighting together, Brian and Loot will generate unity. Unity represents their synchrony and their momentum in battle. As unity rises, Loot becomes increasingly effective. For example, the higher the unity level, the more enemies she can target simultaneously. When a set level of unity is reached, Brian and Loot can execute powerful synergy attacks. Each weapon has an exclusive synergy attack. Try experimenting with each. In addition to synergy attacks, Unity can also be consumed to enter the Rapture state. Rapture only lasts for a short period of time. but its effects can give Brian Loot a tremendous edge in battle.
Oh no, it's happening.
Thank you for watching. We greatly appreciate your support. Please stay tuned for more exciting updates leading up to the release of Soulstice this fall.